to the Talon Outdoors Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm JD.
I am Patriotic Fred.
And I'm Captain Paul Tyre.
And I'm Grant.
You're wearing sort of a weathered
Happy
red,
Independence
white, and blue.
Yeah.
Happy Independence Day.
So what is at least your pineapple's right side up.
You gotta have, yeah, I noticed that. Gotta have a pineapple going.
You do have fruit on there, though, on your shirt. There's a banana
yeah, pineapple,
and a pineapple and some flowers and stuff.
Well, I'm going to the beach for the 4th, so.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah, so
good for you.
Thought I'd have a flowery beach looking.
They still do the fireworks shows along the beach down there at all the different places?
They do. Matter of fact, they sell chairs for them now. So I went ahead.
Back before the wife and I had children, we'd take the boat out and go offshore a couple miles, go out of St. Mark's a couple miles, and go offshore, and at night on the 4th, and sit out there, anchor the boat up, and sit back and watch the coast, and you could just watch fireworks show up all up and down up and down the coast.
Used to love to go to back before Michael would go to Mexico Beach, and they'd pull a barge out there and do the fireworks off a barge, which is unique. Fireworks, one of the coolest things going. I mean, but I get the other side of the argument. There's a lot of people talking about, well, my animals and this and that. Yeah, it's a couple times a year. You just got to deal with it. I mean, I was debating on whether to do fireworks at the house this year. We got a bunch of new animals who've never heard that kind of stuff, and I don't know how they're going to act. And I really don't want to be chasing sheep and goats and cows and new baby calves and all that, and the turkeys. And I don't want to be chasing them to the next county trying to get them back. So we decided, and I don't have the grandkids this weekend for the 4th, so it's really no. So what we're going to do is we're going to some of the smaller communities. We'll find some places where they have some cool fireworks. Because some of the smaller communities actually have better fireworks than the bigger towns.
Last time I went to Chattahoochee, they had a great fireworks show on the river. They launched them from across the river, but you could watch them from the boat landing, or you could go up to the dam up there and watch them out over the river.
Yeah, you can go on the Lake Seminole at night, see Alsonville, Chattahoochee, Bainbridge. It's pretty cool.
You got a dog, you better make sure you got your doors closed. Your dog inside.
Well, mine are going to come find the inside. Here's what's weird. Okay, I've got 2 dogs. I got a bird dog that's not gun shy. If you shoot on the gun range, you better make sure she's secured with you, or you shoot before she runs down there to see what it is you hit, because she's going to run down there and see what it was that moved, because it's supposed to be a dead bird at the other end of that thing. She is not gun shy at all. Thunder, on the other hand, if it's raining hard and there's thunder, her butt's in the bed, whining and shaking. Now, Rusty, the Dry Creek dog, hashtag Rusty the Dry Creek dog on social media, Rusty is gun shy and don't like thunder, and for sure don't like fireworks.
Oh,
I don't know. Well, we're not shooting fireworks. He's staying at the house. But we could sit up on the deck on the side of the house, going in the attic, and watch all the fireworks in Jackson County, because we're up on a hill. I mean, we can see them off in the distance. It's not like it's any fun or anything. The neighbors have better fireworks. But I remember sitting on the beach one time at Mexico Beach back when my daddy was around and my kids were really, really young. And Daddy's a Vietnam War vet, veteran, and has been shelled and has had mortars come in on him. He's 3 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. He's in Vietnam. He was a Navy corpsman fighting with the Marines. And I'm sitting there one night, we're watching the fireworks, and I'm thinking of how cool they are. And I look over there, and my daddy's got tears running down his cheeks. And it ain't patriotic fervor neither. It's and I asked him, I said, Daddy, you all right? He goes, then he started talking to me, and he'd had a couple of drinks. And he goes, those bright white ones, and that's like this and that. And he said, son, it's kind of like being, and that's when I realized that veterans do, in fact, have issues with this. Yeah. I can only imagine. But so I know they're torn between 4th of July. This is the 250th anniversary of our country, and we're celebrating freedom, and they fought for it, and they paid their dues and all that. But then again, some jackwad 2 houses down is out shooting fireworks in his yard, and doesn't realize how it affects him or her. And, so I get it. But there it is. And like Dave Grossman said, forewarned is forearmed. If you know what's coming, particularly with PTSD issues, if you know the symptoms and you realize that it's about to happen, then it can be mitigated somewhat.
I will ask that people please don't go out in your yard and shoot a gun up in there. Those bullets come down.
Do not shoot firearms into the air. That is,
unless you're in Iran, you can do that there.
Yeah.
at a wedding,
Mogadishu,
Yeah.
you can do it there.
So if you're in Iran, give it to a little 3-year-old. Let him do it. See how that goes for you. I've seen videos of that.
And I've got 2 little ones that are on a sleep schedule. They're not sleeping great right now, so we're going to get them to bed early. So nobody fire anything in our house direction, please. We got sleepers, okay? And I'm going to be very upset if at 11:30.
I suspect this is going to be the most fireworks we've seen in a while, because it is a major 4th of July celebration, Independence Day celebration.
They're saying
I hope so.
Washington's supposed to be
too.
world record. I mean, it's like $1,600,000 of fireworks.
I saw a
world
clip.
record.
Yeah, I saw a clip come
Yeah,
across
but
my.
it's in Washington. That means it's about $100,000 worth of fireworks. They're just overpaying.
I saw a clip come across my social media feed, and they were talking about how, just this 250 feels different than the bicentennial, and obviously I wasn't around for that one, but
I was.
Yeah, we had
well, they were
shag
talking
carpet
about I'm
sure
how,
it feels different for you.
Yeah,
it feels
very,
different for us too.
Very different for me.
We're a lot
I will
older.
say. I'll be able to see 300, Lord willing.
I
But
don't think we will.
yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah,
If we will,
Oh,
we
you
want to
might.
enjoy it.
I was gonna say. Can
Can you change? Can you
I'd be wearing
change
a
my
set of
depends for me?
Depends.
Mine's a little damp.
But I saw this clip, and they were talking about how just the spirit around America 250, and they were talking about how 1976 wasn't coming off of Watergate, there was a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East, oil, gas prices, all that stuff. It's not like 1976 was maybe the best year in American history, but people were doing these covered wagon trains from all across the U.S., culminating in D.C. on July 4th. And I'm like, where are the wagon trains? We need some wagon trains and Kentucky flintlock rifles and tricorn hats, and we need some more of that, please.
Well, what I remember about it in '76 was it seemed like there was a lot of early American furniture in houses.
Ethan Allen.
Was that who did that?
Yeah.
And,
Ethan Allen furniture. My mama had a house full of it.
Yeah, we had some of the cheesiest lamps and
The dark pine, big bold Ethan Allen furniture, and I remember all that. But I remember in Chattahoochee them having a big celebration and burying a time capsule, and
I wonder if they're gonna dig
they
it up.
had a I was 8, so I'm going back a minute. A riverboat, a paddle wheel riverboat, came up the river or down the river to Lake Seminole, anchored right off the boat landing there at the Booster Club. Paul knows where I'm talking about. Yeah. Anchored off the Booster Club and did a show from the stage. The whole side of the riverboat was a stage, and it was all this patriotic and fireworks and all this stuff, and had a guy that was a Mark Twain impersonator, I guess, and telling stories. And I remember as a kid going there, the celebrations every year when I was a kid at the Booster Club was huge. People from all over the place came to Chattahoochee to the Booster Club on the lake for the fireworks show and the gopher races and the grease pigs and the
pig.
they're climbing the grease pole. They grease up a long pole and
I tried that.
put a flag up on the end, and they turn a bunch of hogs loose that had grease on them, and you catch the hog. And,
Can you do that anymore?
oh no, I think that's pretty much animal cruelty at this point. But,
I got so upset when I couldn't catch one of those things.
My dad and a bunch of the men
go to the rodeo, and there's the
ride a
mutton
sheep.
busting and all that kind of stuff going on. I mean,
you were small enough to probably ride a sheep, but
I did.
but I remember my dad and the men in the JCs or the Rotary Club or whatever club he was in at the time. I remember them going out and pulling gopher tortoises. They're now highly protected gopher tortoises. They would go out there with this long piece of thick, heavy, stiff wire with a wooden, basically a hoe handle on the other end of it, and they'd run those wires down in there until they found the gopher, and they would pull that gopher out of the hole and catch them, keep them alive. And every business in town would sponsor a gopher. They paint their business stuff on there, and then they would race the gopher tortoises and the whatever, somebody got a prize or whatever. But
I'm sure they returned them back to their
They did.
beds. Yeah.
They did.
Same ones too. We'll be right back. And we're back. Man, What? Go ahead.
Did you see the rocket launch last night?
The other night? No.
Yeah, well, I guess it'd be the other night when they listen to this.
No. What rocket?
I don't know what it was. It was in the Democrat. There was an article about it. It said it was going to take off at 12:36. And
I don't read the Democrat.
4 minutes later, we were able to see it.
And
I didn't.
I
was
saw it.
asleep.
See it.
I was asleep.
well, I'm usually bumping around that time of night.
I was up
Long
late
gone.
watching the headlights in my back field because so it's time to cut hay. We got our seed cut on the hay, our hay grass seed cut the other day, and with the weather's been, it was too dry, so we missed a whole cutting the hay, and then it got wet. And we'll go ahead and cut this for seed, and Trenton Childs got a Spanish Trails farms over in Grand Ridge. He got a place there if you're ever on 69 Grand Ridge and looking for fruit and vegetables, things like that. He's got a good, nice little store right there in downtown, open seasonally. And a fine young man in his 20s, family, lost his dad years ago, and he's taken over, that operation. He and his brother and their family running it, and they got, big. He's really made a go of it, but he's dealing with the stress that farmers have, including equipment breakdowns. They showed up. They do our hay on halves, and his brother and another fellow and all their equipment showed up in a field the other day, and I think everything broke. And I'm sitting there, and I said, you know what? Fine, I got to go get a load of fertilizer, so I'm gonna run up there to Madrid in Alabama, which is between Campbellton, which Campbellton Farm Supply, and then they had the fertilizer wings up in Madrid on 231. And so I go up there and I get a spreader wagon. I had to go all the way to Ozark to get the Brown manufacturing, the Brown tree cutter, the flying disc of death. I told you that you call it, and I went up there and got a wheel the other day, and you can buy their parts direct from them. I went in there, and man, it's a whole lot cheaper going there. I had to go back and get another part for another mower, and so I got my fertilizer coming back, and apparently their luck on equipment jinxed me, because the minute I got in the field, I hooked the spreader wagon to the tractor, drove to the field, put my wife in the little buddy seat next to me because that new tractor's got a seat she can ride with me. So now I'm not only going to the field, I have to ask my wife, are you going with me? And the answer so far has been almost always yes, which is kind of cool. I don't have to worry about getting home in a hurry. So I get to the field and I turn on the hydraulic fluid and I'm going, okay, look back there and tell me. And it's hydraulics that spin it and then hydraulics that engage the wheel. I said, look back there and tell me if you see fertilizer spreading. And so I'm driving around in circles until that there's a conveyor belt that has to roll out. And then when the fertilizer starts hitting the spinning wheel, you can see it shooting out the sides. And I don't want to pay about an acre to get it spread, so I'm being cheap. And so she goes, is it wet? And I said, no, it's not wet. It's granules. She goes, well, what's the wet stuff? I said, I don't know.
The hydraulic fluid.
No.
Well, apparently it's hydraulic fluid.
Oh, no.
And so a line blew, was spraying it into the little spinning discs back there, and it was spreading hydraulic fluid, which will kill your grass. And I'm like, oh, man. But I called right then. They had me fixed up first thing the next morning before I even got up. And so and left me 5 gallons of hydraulic fluid. So that's pretty good customer service out there from those guys. So thank y'all for that. But they stayed up all night long. I mean, it was well after midnight. They were still out there mowing hay. They just had to go slower doing it. But hopefully we'll have all that rolled soon.
When you were in elementary school, do you remember you'd have to diagram sentences and you'd put little sticks?
Yeah, I never was any good at that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if you can diagram one of Charlie's farm stories and do it accurately, I will give you personally $100.
Well, there's 3 stories in that one.
There was about 6 as I counted them.
You just got to follow along.
I'm just saying.
That's what you have. What happens when you give somebody with ADD and caffeine?
all the caffeine I've had is that much sitting
sorry,
right there.
what's
I hadn't
that?
even.
Right.
I hadn't.
Okay, well, you need a little more then to settle you down because it works.
Well, I
both ways.
walked in here in a really bad mood and had a little bit of a headache and wasn't feeling good. I feel better now.
Okay.
I got out of my system, sort of, kind of.
You put it in mine.
I hate to ruin your day, but mine's
No, you didn't
better.
ruin it. I'm going to start bringing a legal pad and just
Sketching it all
sketching
out.
the whole thing out.
Well, it's bad when the story starts with I went to Madrid that is a suburb of Campbellton.
Yeah.
And Campbellton is unincorporated. And Madrid is a crossroad.
He ain't talking about Spain.
No.
Well, I mean, it's just a little square mile or whatever on the map. You know, you see them all the time. I didn't know it was in a place. I kept going to Campbellton, Farm Supply, so I can get some fertilizer. And because they got spreader wagons, and I can't find anybody else around that actually has.
Here we
them.
go again.
And they told me, well, you can pick it up. You can pick it up over there in Madrid. And I'm looking at it, I'm like,
ways off.
I don't know where that's at.
Like I said.
Well, I didn't know it was a place. And, you know, it's like if I tell you I live in Dry Creek. You know, I don't know where Dry Creek is. I mean,
well, that's kind of like I grew up in Mount Pleasant, which is a suburb of Chattahoochee.
I have a vague idea where the area where it's at.
Yeah.
It's somewhere up in that corner of Gadsden County. Yeah. So they said you need to go to Madrid and get it. And I'm like, I don't know, there's a peanut mill up there. Yeah, that's the fertilizer depot. I said, okay.
News to me.
And it's old school. And, man, I tell you, to have a guy call you, hey, I got you hooked up, I did this, and call me by my first name, remember my name, and treat me like he's known me his whole life, I just like that kind of customer service. I like doing business like that.
Yeah, you do like that when they call you by your name. I've noticed when I was picking up prescriptions at CVS, you know, you now have to go punch your credentials in at the counter. Yeah. So that gives the clerk your name. So
Frederick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they call me Mr. Conrad, I guess because I'm bald, but I'm going to start wearing a hat.
Old.
Yeah, old. Yeah, they gave me a senior citizen discount at the Golden Corral the other day.
Nice.
I'm like,
what are you doing eating at the Golden Corral?
Yeah.
They have catfish.
Oh, yeah.
I never.
It's on the bone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Little catfish.
On Thursday and Friday nights, they give you a bone in.
I might have to go to the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's important.
Well, I'm going to say that's not their food is maybe not be the highest quality.
But there's lots of it.
But you get plenty of it, and it ain't bad, you know. And it's just, and if you can go up to the ice cream bar. They've just built a new truck stop in Marianna right off the interstate, which is where you build truck stops. And that sucker's got a yogurt soft. It's got 6 flavors of yogurts and all the fixing inside the dadgum truck stop. And it ain't even that big a truck stop.
I took your advice the other day and went and had breakfast at.
Did I lie?
You did not lie.
Where'd you eat breakfast?
At the
Sun Stop.
Sun Stop.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the cook, and you were right about that.
Yeah, somebody Meemaw up in there cooking
Somebody
breakfast.
was in there cooking breakfast.
That's right.
And it was good.
I'm telling you, man, every time we go to the coast fishing and get up early and go, whether I need gas in the boat
Rockies
or not.
or whatever?
No, I stop there I stop at Rockies to get bait, but I stop at that gas station right there, and they've got non-ethanol gas to put in my boat, and they got breakfast. It's good.
I'm telling you.
Did you see? Well, you may not have seen this. I saw something on Facebook the other day. So
I have
it must be
Facebook
true.
now, so I may have seen it.
Everybody friend JD.
Down.
He needs to get up around 4,000 or 5,000 people to aggravate him again. Kick him back off.
Friend request.
So there was a video of an old guy taking ethanol gasoline and converting it to non-ethanol gasoline.
Huh.
And apparently it works.
Getting alcohol out.
No, so what he does is he takes a glass or a plastic clear container. You can put X amount of gasoline in, and you put, say, 5 gallons of gas in it, and then you pour like a half a gallon of water in it.
What?
You put water in the gas.
Separate it.
And then you just kind of shake it up a little bit, and what happens is the ethanol is hydrophilic, and gas is hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means it doesn't like water. So gas doesn't want to mix with, petroleum products don't mix with water.
Yep.
But ethanol does because it's alcohol. So it mixes with the water. And then what you do is you put a hose in there, and you basically siphon the gas out or the water out, whichever way you want to go. It's probably quicker to siphon the water out and leave the gas. And then you have non-ethanol gasoline.
That's cool.
I can believe that.
So you could
Got
do
a
it in
cease
a
and
gallon
desist
jug.
letter from the Field Corn Growers Association lobby.
I think
You can't do that.
I think corn growers need to focus on feeding the world and cattle and not messing up all our gasoline motors.
Which screws up. Yeah. So wait a minute. So I can take like a gallon or 5 gallon bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I fill it up, say, 4 gallons. How much water do I put in?
I don't know, just some water. You're going to siphon it all off. You can't put too much.
So most of the gas you buy at the pump gas is 10%
Yep.
10% alcohol.
Correct.
So I would say probably not a lot to get it to absorb. I'd say 10% of that 4 gallons would probably yield 20% of the total, which you wouldn't fill up the 5-gallon jug with that. I'm just doing this math off the top of my head. So you'd take out a gallon of water alcohol mix and have 4 gallons, have 3 gallons of gas.
And he actually measured it, and yes, you have less when you get the water out, because he took like a half a gallon of water, and then when he siphoned the water off, it had measurably more water in there, which means it was mixed with alcohol.
Sure enough.
Point.
So what?
You can probably drink that too, Fred, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Methanol. I don't know.
Ethanol. It's ethanol.
It's ethanol, not methanol. It's
Methanol will make you go blind. Ethanol is moonshine.
If it's ethanol, yeah, you can just
Well, don't tell people that. I mean.
Well, will it?
No, I am not a scientist. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Well, hold on now.
A while back.
So ethanol is hydrophilic. I wonder if it's Coca-Cola philic. If I put Coca-Cola in there, will it?
Assuredly Mountain Dew philic.
Will it absorb into the Mountain Dew, and then we
Ginger ale.
siphon that off, and I can use the same straw?
The pheasant hunt this year is going to be really interesting.
It's going to be lit. That's where all the corn's coming from to make the whiskey to put in the gasoline.
Man, well, here's the thing: is all right. So you're on a long trip and you're running ethanol gas, and you got out there with your buddies
Get a
in the
little
woods,
thirsty.
and you ran out of beer, and you're talking about, you know what? We've got some water.
Man, you're going to have some screwed up people.
Please do not drink the gasoline.
Listen
folks.
to this show.
This is a joke. This is
Just
for
make
humor
sure
only.
you drink
Don't
the water,
drink
not the
gas.
gas.
Don't drink none of it.
You can huff the gas.
Don't
drink
do
it.
that neither.
All opinions expressed here on the Talon Outdoors Show do not reflect the opinions of iHeartRadio.
They damn sure don't reflect mine, I can tell you that.
Don't sue me. Don't sue me. We're joking. This is a
every
joke.
once in a great blue moon, the redneck does come out.
If you say something about injecting bleach, somebody will try it. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, we'll be back. And we're back. So, hey, if you're in the Dothan area and you're thinking about coming out to the Dothan Range for the holiday, we are open. Open at noon on Sunday on the holiday. We will be open. Frank's been working really hard. We've got some more of our bays. We'll have fans on them.
Saturday's the holiday, Charlie.
Is it?
Yeah, Saturday's 4th of July. That's today if you're listening.
Today.
Okay, yeah. So if you're coming out today, we're open today.
Come on, y'all come on
what
out.
calendar did I just look at? I just glanced down to make sure I had it right, and it's
You still on June?
You're going to be out
it
there shooting
says
fireworks
it says
on Sunday.
July the 4th. It's okay. All right, I'm looking. All right,
That's
here
the other
we go.
S. The other S.
The other S, because the end of the week there's an S.
See,
and I thought that
do I
was
not know how his brain works? Fred?
Man.
See there?
Sunday.
Do I not know?
You know.
It's the S next
Okay,
to
so
the
if you're
F
coming
is
to the
what you're
range
looking at.
today, just know that we are open all day, and you can come tomorrow after the holiday if you want to, and shoot from noon till whenever. But we got new fans, is what I'm trying to tell you. There's
We got
new fans on the bays to help keep you cool. Not all of them. So if you come out and you don't want to get too hot, you can go, do you have a bay with a fan? Because we're not going to send you to one. You just have to ask, because it's not.
We went through
everyone
all
yet.
that to tell everybody we've gotten some new fans.
Yeah.
Up there on the bay.
How did I get roped into it?
I don't know. But
It's fun picking on Charlie sometimes. Especially when he's in a bad mood. If you pick on Charlie when he walks in the door in not a great mood, it makes the day better.
Well, I used to do it when I was defense lawyer. He's a cop. That didn't pan out so well.
Yeah, well.
He'd give me that stare across the courtroom. Like, I'm going to whip your...
that look right there. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, well, I still remember that time when I said, "Counselor, are you sure you want me to answer that question?" And you did not.
I really didn't.
I just didn't want a mistrial.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
is not
When you're being cross-examined by a defense attorney on the stand, and he meets you in the hallway and says, "Thank you."
I had one do that to me one time.
I'm just looking out after you because I didn't want to have to do this all over again neither.
I had one ask me a question one time, and I knew it was fixing to end in the mistrial if I answered it honestly. And I looked at him and I said, "I don't think you want me to answer that." And then I looked over at the judge, who I had known since I was a child, and I said, "He really don't want me to answer that." And it was, I'll tell you who the attorney was on the break. And he looks back at him and he says he don't want, you really don't want to hear that. I want to, you got to tell me. And he goes, Tell him. And it was,
I think I know who that was.
Where were you when you issued my client a trespass warning?
At the jail.
At the jail was the answer. And I'm like, he really don't want me to answer this, Your Honor. And he goes, he's asked. I'm telling you, we go ahead and answer him.
Then you went home.
No. They did not grant a mistrial.
Well, but he asked. He opened the door.
The judge said, no, you opened the door. You asked. He tried to tell you. You wasn't paying attention, and we're going to let this go head on.
Well, the cops don't know much, but we know a little sometimes.
It usually takes a cop one time on the stand for a mistrial, and it never happens to him again.
Yeah. I had never – that was the first time for me, but I knew better than to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge kind of looked at him and said, he tried to warn you, and you ask again. So,
do you know how much work it is for a cop to go to a dadgum court? You're working the midnight shift.
Without a doubt,
you get a deposition you got to go to when it ain't when there used to be enough, and then you get a subpoena to go to a trial, and it's for a week. Yeah. You don't know when it's going to be, and then you go up there and you sit all that gum day when you just worked all night long. You got to sit up there all day and be ready to go, and then you might have to go back to work that night, and all to be told, hey, they're not going to call you.
But we want you to stay here just in case.
Man, I'm so glad I'm done with that crap. I used to hate it.
Amen.
Just,
Amen.
And that was and back when I was a rookie cop, we didn't all have cell phones. We can sit up there and play games and stuff and do stuff and watch movies and we didn't have all that.
No,
the back phone stayed in the car.
Sequester you in the little room there, and you're there by yourself for 4 hours waiting to not do anything.
And you can't talk about the case.
Yeah, right.
Right, yeah.
Not at all.
We're not supposed to talk about the case. What was that? Hey, Hammy, where did you tell me again on the all right.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No.
Statutes run, so I guess y'all won't.
And we're back.
The headline next week, or the way they're going to welcome next week is, I'm Charlie, I'm JD. Well, Fred would be here, but he is in the hospital after having ingested homemade methanol.
Ethanol. Don't do the methanol.
Ethanol.
I thought you were going to say you had an accident with a sparkler and now you're nine-fingered Fred.
Well,
to say this would be Fred's last weekend with all his fingers.
Yeah. Well, it might be, especially if I try to mix that gas over the weekend.
That won't take your fingers off, but it'll leave a mark on you.
Well, when you're doing a sparkler at the same time, which is...
It's not good. It's not good.
I want to talk about a more controversial subject.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. And y'all had no idea this is coming. I saw a political candidate say something earlier about wanting to ban flock cameras. I want to ban flock cameras, and this is a big deal. And a lot of people are freaking out about flock cameras, and a lot of people don't understand what they are.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a license plate reader. LPR is a brand, basically, or one network of license plate reader. Fred probably defended some cases where it was used against some of his clients.
On Monday, I did.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, so your overall explanation of a license plate reader. Fred, correct me if I'm wrong somewhere. JD, you got some knowledge on this too. Then I know even in my town in Jackson County over there, the city's got a handful of license plate readers. I don't know if they're flock versions or they're LPRs. I don't know who owns them. Typically, a government entity will, or they make subcontract out to an organization that maintains the data and all, and they can access this data. But there are a bunch of them around Mariana, and then there's a couple of them out in the county. And if you go up to like 231 north coming in and out of Alabama, if you're coming and going Alabama to Florida down 231, they got your tag number, unless it was blocked by another vehicle, coming and going. There's some on some of the state highways and stuff around. And somebody was, well, then you do away with that because they're going to get it to where they are tracking my mileage, and they're going to do the environmental something and my carbon footprint, and that ain't what this is. If they want to do that, all they got to do is mandate plugging something into your car and tracking it, or they can get into the Ford app or the Chevy, all the stuff that's out there. They can track if they want to know how much you're driving.
Yeah, if you got a new car, they're already doing that.
They look at your credit card usage, which they can gain access to if they want to.
Not to mention your cell phone that's hitting off every tower everywhere you.
There's so many ways to track you; it ain't even funny. Now, that said, what an LPR will do is solve a crime, because it won't solve it, but it can be used as evidence against you. And so here's a so God forbid your child is out playing in the yard, and you go outside to check on your 8-year-old child or grandchild, and all of a sudden they're gone. Well, then you call law enforcement. My child is gone. We look in the area. We don't know. And so, I don't know, we go pull the LPR that's right down the road, and we see that there was a sexual predator that drove by an hour within that 30 minutes, and we go find them before any harm can happen.
Yeah.
You have a problem with using technology that way. And 99.999% of people go, no, I'd be fine if that's what it was used for.
Right. Well, let's cut to the chase, because the government surveillance can be used for good, like you're talking about. It can be used for bad, like the things that we're afraid of. I go back to Ronald Reagan saying something, the most terrifying words in the English language. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And that's a matter of trusting your government to do right with whatever information they are able to garner by whatever and the technology is so much beyond cameras posted on a pole somewhere right now. The technology that exists, that happens, that gets used for commercial purposes. When your phone,
you walk into a restaurant, they got a geofence around it.
Yeah,
there's
so many geofences.
There's so many geofences. There's so many, and it's for commercial purposes. They're trying to advertise to you,
right?
Or you get on any social media thing and you look up, God forbid, you look up a storage shed. How much does a storage shed cost?
Your Facebook feed will be flooded with storage shed stuff later.
Right.
Your phone heard you.
I made the mistake of looking at Facebook Messenger at somebody was selling a storage shed, and I'm like, how do you go about selling? I'm just thinking to myself, how do you go about selling a storage shed on Facebook Marketplace if you ain't got no way to move it, deliver it, and do all this other stuff? So I
pick up.
So I clicked on the thing. Well, it was a commercial. It was a business selling storage sheds, advertising on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
Well, now everything on my phone, every time I turn my phone on, I'm getting flooded with storage shed.
Well, they track all that. I mean, and we use that same technology. The radio stations use that on the streaming stuff.
So my point to that is, whether you like it or not, folks, you are being watched. You are being followed. You are being surveilled. You are being all this stuff. Don't get bent out of shape about law enforcement having a camera that we could plug, that law enforcement can plug a tag number into that is tied to a database that says that's a bad guy driving that car. You're getting worked up about nothing, in my opinion.
So let me address that.
Let's hear Fred's side.
All right. So right now, and this is an analogy. Right now, law enforcement cannot go drone your house and then find your pot plant and then
not without a search warrant.
Not without a search warrant. I got a case in this week. They did exactly that. And we got a search warrant.
Mm-hmm.
So just put some constitutional safeguards on it.
Right.
So that if you're going to get a flock camera for a particular car, articulate your basis for doing it. But I don't want anybody from the government watching me when I go to the grocery store and timing out a pattern. And that's intrusive. That's a Fourth Amendment.
But we can follow you and establish the same pattern. So I can sit at the end of the road and I can watch you leave your house, and I can have unmarked cars follow you. I can effectively do the exact same thing proactively if I want to without anything. I don't have to go to court or do anything. But don't go using
AI. And when you take it a step further,
I'm saying it's like this: if they're doing that for the wrong reasons, then it's bad. If they're doing it to try to catch a bad guy that's done something heinous or is about to do something heinous, I want them to use it. And I don't know how you separate. I don't know how you separate that, Fred.
I think you go back to the Constitution. You look at the Fourth Amendment, and what does it ban? Unreasonable,
unlawful search and seizure.
Then that's what you have to articulate in order to get a warrant.
Yeah.
And that's what ought to happen.
But is something traveling down a public roadway, if you're observing people travel down a public roadway, is that unreasonable to say, I saw a silver car with its tag number go by?
Certain circumstances, it might be.
Same thing. So let's say this: you put a police officer or a law enforcement officer or a agent thereof, a person out there with a set of binoculars and a and a computer in their car that can run a tag, and you're looking at license plates and you're running tags, and you're looking at license plates and you're running tags. What's the difference?
Okay, well, let's go back to Charlie's hypothetical. Suppose that sexual predator was, let's just say he was 21 or 25 at the time, and his girlfriend was 17.
Okay.
All right, and so he got prosecuted for that because that would be illegal.
Yep.
Okay. It's a Romeo and Juliet case. They're married today with kids and a happy family, but he's a sexual predator because of
her,
or sex offender
because of that event.
Because of that event. All right, and now he's 50 years old, 57 with grandkids, and never had another problem the rest of his life. He happens to be riding by that neighborhood, and now you're going to go raid his house. Because
I'm tracking what you're saying there for sure. I am, but when does that ever happen?
It can.
I didn't say it couldn't.
I mean, there are
wrong door raids happen all the time.
Well, and those are mistakes. Those are mistakes that are made.
And every now and then somebody's
somebody gets shot.
Well, their pie gets eaten, or their
cake,
the yellow cake gets eaten.
Lemon pound cake.
Lemon pound cake. I couldn't think of what it was.
So ultimately, what I look at it is we have no privacy in this world due to technology anymore. All that stuff is out there. Law enforcement doesn't use 99% of the information that's out there about you already. We have to go through a process to get that. If I want to see your phone records, I can get them. I have to have a reason.
You got to subpoena them, give me notice.
I have to. And I can do all kinds of stuff with the phone companies with subpoenas. I can do all kinds of things as a law enforcement officer. I can go do that once I'm targeting someone. But that's because I already suspect you of doing something. But, with the camera system, it leverage. We can't hire more cops. We can't put more people out on the street. We just don't have the funds to do it. But we're solving crimes in law enforcement today using those things that we could not solve before. And that's got to be good for the community at some level. We'll be right back. And we're back now. On the break, we exercise a lot of our personal demons in here related to stuff that's happened in our lives and law enforcement careers and everything else. Now, but we circling back on the flock thing. I get why people see it as an intrusion. I don't like red light cameras, and I don't like speed cameras. I don't like getting a ticket, and I think you ought to be able to fight those because, to me, if you get a speeding ticket, there needs to be a person who saw me driving that car. Now, I get if you've got a picture of me in the car,
wouldn't me
in the driver's seat, and I'm speeding now, I'd have a harder time fighting that. But just, I got a tag, and the car was going so fast. I have issues with that because to me that's not fair. I believe in a fair fight.
Yeah.
You ought to fight fair. As a law enforcement officer, you need to have a properly calibrated device. You need to catch me, and you need to talk to me and hand me a ticket. I just think that's the way it's supposed to work. And then you can use discretion as you see necessary. Machines don't have discretion, and they don't have personalities or anything. But in my personal opinion, and not everybody here agrees, not everybody's going to agree, I think that using tools properly, that are regulated properly, that are used properly, that there are some limits on. It's kind of like data centers. I don't think you should ban all data centers. I think you should judge every one of them based on whether or not they use too much water, they have too much noise, there's too much light pollution, and whether or not they provide their own power. And if you can meet those guidelines, I think you should allow them.
Well, you talk about the speed cameras. Mm-hmm. So I got one reporter called me the other day about Andrew Gillum. He had two speed camera violations, and he sent me the citations, and there were two separate cars registered to him.
Let's be clear. This is not your client. This
is
a reporter called you and talked to you that had nothing to do with one of your clients.
He didn't notice that until I pointed it out and said, hey, those are two separate cars with two separate license tags. How do you know one of his wives?
Now, or anybody that he loaned his car to.
Anybody he loaned his car to.
Yeah.
And on these speed cameras as well as the red light cameras, you're supposed to say, okay, it wasn't me. Here's who it was.
Right.
That, to me, shifts the burden of proof to the defense, and that's I'm not okay with that.
No, I agree.
No, it's the burden of proof is on the state to prove that it occurred and who did it. And you're exactly right. And that's stuff that I've been reading and researching too, is that the way these and the people who oppose these, this is the argument, is the state's burden to prove that it happens. Now they're trying to make these administrative fees. Now I'm gonna send you $100
it's a non-moving
ticket.
violation. Well, that's how seatbelt started. Non-moving violation. Nowadays, it's a you get points. Yeah,
It's just a foot in the door. They're just trying to was that old proverbial, get the camel's nose under the tent. They're just trying to get it to where people accept it, and then they're going to take it
I would
further.
feel better about all of this if I thought for 100% of the time the government had our best interest in mind.
Yeah,
they don't.
there you go.
They got their best interest in mind, which is collecting your money and keeping their power.
Precisely.
And that's what that is. And that's why you give them this incrementalism that they do. You give them just a little bit. So, okay, I don't have a problem with that. That's not a big deal. Well,
that's the way the anti-gun people have been doing this for ever.
That's all of it. The taxes.
We're only going to ban this.
Social Security started out as optional.
Yeah.
Well, I go back to a political candidate, the Republicans, saying, I want to ban flock cameras. So why don't you ban red light cameras and ban, what was the other one? The
speed cameras.
Speed cameras. Why don't you ban that?
Yeah.
If you want to make me happy, get rid of that. Don't get rid of something that I see as a legitimate.
Well, I think it's
tool.
a whole bigger issue, Charlie, and it goes, like I said, I'm gonna beat this drum again. It goes back to trust of the government, and I think there's a whole big segment of the society that no longer puts any trust whatsoever in the fictional novel that the government has our best interest in mind.
Well,
and that's what it really boils down to. And
if it got to the point where
the
government,
he's playing on that point.
Yeah, I know.
I
So
don't
if it got to the,
I don't even know you're talking about.
If it got to the point, where they were I don't know what the government would do with pictures of tags going around town. I mean, I don't know what they would do with that outside of local law enforcement using it to solve crimes. I don't know that there's any other legitimate reason. Any other reason?
Yeah,
that
there's
you
a
could
pretty
use
far
it
stretch that they're going to send you a bill for your carbon emissions.
So if that was the case, if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure
administration.
on a local level, all those things would cease to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, because
you look at who this country is electing in these Democratic primaries.
That's the crazy
You
thing.
don't think those people would start taxing you on carbon emissions using
which
flock
is why it
cameras?
matters when we vote.
Right. And, you look at who these people are voting for. These are people out there chanting pro-socialist ideas, which is
saying that communism is the goal.
Is the goal.
Yeah.
Listen to them when they say what they're saying.
They're
not
telling
lying.
you. They're telling you the truth.
They are telling you exactly how they feel.
It ain't going to be a lightweight version of whatever either.
And it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You just ask anybody from Venezuela.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't know
On a
where
better
that's going to.
subject.
Yeah.
I want to talk about fishing.
Yeah.
Because Paul has brought me a fish bait that I'm liable to try this weekend. Looks like a
something
sea
my
urchin.
kids would play with.
Yeah,
Just get the hooks out of it.
I got one right here to show people on YouTube. That's called looks like an urchin, don't it?
Yeah.
Like a sea urchin. It's called a high-tech koiki. That's the original name for it.
It looks like
But that daggum thing will catch some fish.
looks like the replica of what Superman flew here on.
Yeah.
There's all kind of nightmares made of that thing coming alive and crawling up your arm and turning you into something.
Now that they've released those files.
I tell you what, but we've been under a heat wave. Half the country's under a heat wave right now. Anybody going out on the lake, I'd go early and late right now during this heat. But been a bunch of mayflies up there on the lake. Been seeing them. The bass bite's been pretty good. First thing in the morning, late in the evening, top order, and been catching some few on this urchin style bait.
So I would assume I've never fished one of these. You're donating a couple of them to the cause. I would assume that would be something you would fish really, 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 really slow and just kind of make the legs wiggle. Put
That's
it out
right.
there where you think the fish might be and make the legs wiggle.
Just kind of
hook in it?
That don't have one. That's a brand new one. But anyway, you can either run a weedless hook like we were talking about, JD, before the show started, or like a treble hook, but you want to run a little nail weight in the middle of it, which will give it you want it to fall. It's all about the rate of fall on this, how slow it falls.
Do you leave this wire in
And
there?
sometimes you want it to be a little bit faster, and sometimes you want it slower.
No,
but actually they'll come up and hit it. They'll hit it on the surface too.
So you just put
absolutely.
Put a treble hook.
Yep, you take this out and then put your weight
And then
through it.
Yeah.
And then run your hook through it right there.
Okay,
Stick out the back.
And just kind of let it bounce off the bottom a little bit.
Yeah, not really on the bottom, more suspended fish, round cover.
Let it fall
How
really
big?
Like
slow.
throwing that under a dock,
Yep.
you'll catch them.
Okay, you just throw it under, let it slowly
It'll
sink.
slowly sink down.
Well, how big a weight?
16th.
Okay.
Anywhere from a 32nd to a 16th, eighth.
I would assume you could put that on a spinning reel, lightweight spinning reel.
Yes,
But you didn't
this
have to put any
bigger one
weight.
you
Let
throw
the
on
hook weight of the hook.
That's right.
Let it fall. That's going to be a more
I wonder
natural.
if those things work in saltwater.
You could definitely.
Yeah.
I bet they would.
You can bet.
I bet they would. But I throw the bigger one on the bait caster and the smaller ones on the spinning reel.
I wonder if I'll take that thing over there and throw it in the surf and see what.
Something will eat it, Fred.
Something eat
Saltwater.
it. Saltwater. Them fish eat anything.
Get you some of that shrimp spray.
Yeah,
that
that
spray
gulp
stuff. Put
that
on
That
there.
stuff works in freshwater, believe it or not.
Absolutely does. Fish bait to me don't have this is a saltwater bait, this is a freshwater bait. In all honesty, if a bass will hit it, so will a redfish and a trout and vice versa.
I'll tell you, I had a trip yesterday.
You
We
doing one of those
we had some folks. We were trying to catch some crappie. You had to put some of them crappie nibbles on there on the hook, and it seemed like they were falling. They wasn't really eating it. Then we put that on there, and we started catching a few.
I'll be dog.
How many of those you bring with you today?
Oh, I got you one.
All right. Just-
Fred's
You
gonna
gotta try it though.
I'm
Send me a
starting to
picture.
get excited.
For saltwater in the surf, you fishing in the surf or something like that, Fred, I'd probably run me a weight. About a foot and a half up from the hook.
Like a Carolina
Like a
rig?
Carolina rig, and throw it out there and just let the
waves just kind of flap it around.
Move it around, yeah.
Maybe just you might get a pompano on that thing.
Yeah, I bet you could. If there's
You got a pink one in there?
No, I don't have a pink one.
See, Fred, if it comes up, this turns out to be the best pompano bait on the planet. It happened right here in front of everybody on the show.
No, they're not going to know. I'm not saying squat about that.
Yeah, the fishermen are like that. Fishermen are like that. They're Paul's not, thankfully. Paul likes to share all of his knowledge, but a lot of fishermen don't tell you, where'd you catch them fish at? In the mouth. Right in the corner of the mouth. That's where I caught them.
Over yonder.
Over yonder. I
I
used to have
the wrong location.
I had a buddy one time, and every time somebody'd say, he'd ask, what's going on? We were over yonder doing so. Well, I heard yonder burnt down last night.
Where was that old commercial we used to hear? Over yonder in Ozark. What was that?
Oh, gosh, it was what?
Had to be a car commercial.
Out of Dothan.
I cannot remember the commercial.
Over yonder in Ozark.
I think it was for the satellite. The Red Holland and the satellite dish company, over yonder in Ozark. I'm pretty sure that's.
You think?
I think it was when old Red Holland get out there with the number 3 wash tub and come on in, satellite, come on in.
Somebody up in Dothan
That's
send me
that's
Charlie
a long time ago.
Charlie at talontraining.com. Send me an answer to that. I just remember you said over yonder, and I'm sitting there. I mentioned Ozark earlier. I'm like,
Thank you.
that just kind of popped in my head.
So after my buddy came up with yonder burnt down last night, I came up with but they built it back this morning.
I like that.
That's intelligent talk.
Happy
from the redneck
intelligence.
community.
All right, we'll see y'all next
Happy
time.
4th.